Well, first of all, we believe that negotiation is the desired outcome. Europe has to give consideration to this. I mean, this is a very serious impact on Europe, as the Commission has outlined in terms of the figures themselves. They're enormous. 380 billion euros of EU exports will be subject to these tariffs. So therefore, but as I said earlier, there will be judgment calls to be made here at Commission level. We will input into that and give our perspective on it. The desired outcome is negotiations between the US and the European Union. We do not favour a digital services tax, and I think this has to be considered response, measured response, and one that is clearly calculated and calibrated not to bring more damage upon the European economy and European citizens.
The focus in the first instance is on trade and the negotiations that now need to happen over the period ahead. And I think it is worth reminding everyone that at the moment, as things stand, the US authorities collect far more in tariffs in respect of EU exports to the US than is collected by the EU in relation to US exports to the EU. So that's the baseline for this discussion, and the detail of all of that can be worked out in the course of the discussions and negotiations. And I have every faith in my colleague Maroš Šefčovič, who is vastly experienced, and we know all about that in an Irish context in relation to Brexit. And I discuss these trade issues with him on a regular basis, and he is tuned into the detail. He's determined to get a good outcome here for Europe, and I think we all need to support him in that respect, because we do need to bring this back to people. People get hurt when tariffs are imposed. People can lose their jobs. Prices can go up. The cost of medicines can go up. So lots of bad things happen when tariffs are imposed in an unjustified and unilateral manner like this. And so the EU is not at the point at looking at other instruments. Our focus is on trade, trying to get a good outcome in respect of trade negotiations, working with the United States in cooperation to deal with the challenges that are there. And there are challenges around overcapacity, difficulty in entering and trading with certain markets. There can be unfair subsidies in certain markets. So there's a lot to work through, but we should do it together because the health of this relationship between the EU and the US is fundamental to the health of the global economy. And if that goes wrong, then the consequences are multifaceted and can be seen everywhere. Not just big business impacted by tariffs, but also by downstream businesses who rely on providing services and who may be part of the supply chain that sustains the operations of larger businesses. So our absolute focus is on avoiding that scenario, and hopefully we can.
Jessica from News Talk. Taoiseach, first of all, there was some confusion last night over the actual figures